everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel for those who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers that may be visiting for the first time. So continuing today to work on my mini journals, and I have the covers here finished that I shared with you in the previous video. This is the one that we did on camera. I absolutely love. They're all a little bit uneven around the sides as far as the width of the fabric is concerned. I'm okay with that. I've folded them all and I'm really happy with the way they look. So that is the first one, and it has this really pretty little pocket in here. And then our second one, again with the pockets on the inside. I did go ahead and make pockets for these two as well, the front and the back. And lucky last, of course, the pockets. And this one isn't. I've worked them a little bit just to try and relax everything, and I haven't done this one so much, and as you can see it's a little bit more reluctant to fold. That's okay. I may even set them under something heavy just to lock them into place a little bit more. So I love the way this one feels. So soft. Okay, so really happy with those. I haven't quite decided how I want to go about closing each one of them, so what I want to use for the enclosure, but I'll see where my imagination takes me. I haven't decided. Okay, so I need to pop those to a side because today we are just working on this one. So my plan is to hopefully work on this one with you all on camera, and the other two I'll probably work off camera with. Now, I've gone ahead and printed these two papers from the 1908 kit from JunkWithSteph onto matte photo paper, and they were done at two per page. So that can be found in your printer settings if your printer allows you to do that. And I'm thinking I really like this image here for the cover, but I don't want to cover this photo, this flower. My words are all skew-iff. So I just want to have a little play with this image and see how it cuts. I looked at this part here and I'm not sure I want to cut that off, and I'm not sure how it will look if I don't. So I hope you're all fabulous. I hopped in here this morning and I'm keeping these little strips because, as you may know if you've been watching my channel for a while, I like to use them on my gel plate to add detail to using acrylic paints, and then I get to use them in my crafting. So I can tell you there's not a whole lot of my resources that are actually wasted in my craft room, and I love that about this craft. Okay, I'm hoping, oh, I didn't quite, this isn't always, actually I might tidy it up on my other trimmer once I've got majority cut. It's really hard to move this just a fraction when your hand is holding it down. Like it's just, you've got to have just the right amount of give, but not too much that it doesn't take off. I'm going to stop fluffing with it. I'm just going to trim it down as best I can and then tidy it on my Tim Holtz trimmer. It didn't seem to matter which trimmer I decided to use. I wasn't going to get a perfect cut the first time around, so my Tim Holtz trimmer is just a little bit smaller, which is why I didn't go with it to start with, because I cannot fit the length of an A4 page into the trimmer, which is fine because I have choices and I love that. Okay. So I don't know whether this is going to work for me. I really don't know whether I want to decorate the front or whether I'm happy with it the way it is. There's something about just a really beautiful fabric cover that I absolutely love. And for the longest time, I didn't decorate my covers because of that reason. And I've only just started to decorate the fronts recently. And I really love them decorated, but there's a lot to be said about not decorating as well. Okay, so I feel like I need to trim across the top of that image. In my head, I'm going, I think I'm going to have to give the butterfly the chop. Just so you've got a little bit of forewarning. That is pretty though, isn't it? But I think I like it like that for the cover. I'm going to do it. Please don't watch if you're worried about the butterfly. I'm sorry, little butterfly. I tried to keep you in there. Because it's a miniature journal, I don't have a lot of wiggle room on the cover to play with, so I feel like that size is going to work so much better. Okay, I really love that on the cover. I feel like it's not, at this stage, it's not taking away too much. I am thinking about backing it though, so I don't know if this will work. Let's see. So I'm thinking a cardboard backing. I need to tidy up. This is just a piece of scrap. It's a craft cardstock that I have, which I purchased, I believe, from my local bargain buys here in Australia. Anywhere that sells craft card close to you is fine. I don't remember what weight it is. It's not overly heavy. Okay, so I'm going to cut this strip. Pop that piece aside. Now I know that this is too wide, but I can trim it down once I get an idea of where I want to take it. Thinking about there. Okay, I'm probably making an easy job difficult, but bear with me, I usually get there in the end. Okay, so let me see how that works. Where can I pop this? Okay, I'm pretty happy with that, so I'm going to ink. just remembered this has a right side and a wrong side, or it's almost like a finished side and an unfinished side, if you like. And they are different colours, so I just was making sure. So this is what I call the right side or the finished side, and this is the what I call the wrong side or the unfinished side. There's a bit more tooth to this side, which means that it's I feel like it's better with adhesives and things as well. I feel like it has more to grab a hold of. So okay, so I'm thinking about putting lace under the image somewhere, and I'm just trying to decide where. I think what I will do is glue this to the card, and then I may glue some lace to the back, and I might sew around it. I think I had thought about doing this before I finished off the covers and actually sewing it to the front cover before gluing it to my envelope and wadding, but I really wanted to see the cover finished before I decided whether or not I wanted a focal image, and that made it a little more difficult, so that's why I'm doing it like I am, and either is fine. If I attach the lace to the back of this image, I get to sew around the image and still have that look of stitching without actually having it stitched to the cover itself, so I'm happy with that. Okay, my glue bottle's going to need a little attention. It's not coming out terribly fast. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do was to seal this image, so I might do that now. Okay, so I have some cold wax medium here. I'm not sure where the fabric is that I usually use to apply this, so I'm just going to use a little piece of paper towel. I haven't actually done this before with the paper towel, but I'm hoping it'll be okay. Now, I don't need a lot because my image isn't terribly big. And this will be a case of wax on and wax off. So just applying a thin layer. Probably would have been easier if I did this before I cut the image out, but I forgot. Never mind. Let's see if I can go around that craft card as well. This will just help protect the image, especially when it's on the cover. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that coverage, and I'm just going to get, I have here a clean piece of paper towel, and going to really buff that off. Okay, I've just noticed that it's taken off the tiniest bit of print off the side of the image, and I actually really love that because it adds to that aged look for me. So I'm going to keep it, just going to go over it a little bit with my fresh wax cloth, and then just gently over it with my clean piece, just so that I feel like it's sealed. Okay, and that job is done. So from there, just bringing in my little lace scraps. Going to see if I've got, thought I may have had a piece of this lace that was big enough on this hook, but I don't think I do. No, into the fabric basket I go. Okay, I've got all sorts of treasures in here. Thought I had a piece of that lace in here, and by the look of it, it's going to be big enough. So hip hip hooray. I really love this curtain lace for layering. I just find it's a really lovely weight. It's not very thick, and I love the color of it. It's sort of like almost an off-white or a creamy, it's got a little bit of a creamier tone to it. Okay, so I don't want a lot. I'm going to say about there. Sorry, I'm working in a really confined space. Okay. Lift that because it will help me get my scissors underneath it. Okay, popping that tiny piece into my itty bitty scraps, and I just want to see how that looks. Okay, so I think cannot decide if I want it. I'm going to get my extra set of hands. Just getting a couple of paper clips here to hold this closed while I, there we go, that's better. I like it like that. Do I want it straight? I feel like if it's straight, I want to move it up so it's more centered. Whereas if I have it like that, I think I like that there. Now, how can I do this? just need a tad of glue to hold it in place. Oh gosh, and I did say my glue was going to play up, didn't I? Sorry for the noise. Wobbly boot. Was trying to do that too quickly and the pin wouldn't go straight. Been finding it just gets clogged slightly at the very tip, probably from having the lid off while I'm working. I'm sorry if I'm not on camera properly. I'm trying to avoid the journal cover. Okay, I'm hoping that little pin is so fiddly to use, but I'd be lost without it. Okay. So, see if I can do this. Please work, glue, please work. I can see we have lift off. Okay. So I've just got a little bit of glue attached to the back and I'm going to sew around it. I won't be doing that on camera, so I do have my sewing machine set up. I'll see if I can do that now and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I'm not the neatest sewer, but I really love that, and that's going to go on there just like that. So I'm going to use my fabric glue and we'll attach that now. Just keeping the cover simple, but I think it's really pretty. Just like, please work, glue. Oh, that bottle is not happy at all. How did I go? Thinking about there. Lock it in. I think that's gorgeous. I love that I can still see the pink flowers. Oh my gosh, happy days. And I'm thinking maybe a little bit of lace down the spine, but I may do that after I sew my signatures in, I'm thinking. Okay. Stop admiring your work, Sharon. Now, I have my papers here and I need to, I've got bits everywhere. I need to work out pages for my signature. So my plan is to probably tear these, I'm thinking, and glue them together so I have a front and a back. I think that's my best bet, and I'm not going to do all of them. Sorry, I was just deciding which way I was best to tear. I'm wondering if I should, oh no, like, do I tear really close to the edge? My papers are going to be a little bit smaller than my journal cover. My printed papers are going to be smaller than my journal cover, but I've sort of decided that I can make my other pages a little bit bigger if I want to. They don't have to be the same size. I don't know, I'm just winging it, guys. Just winging it. Okay. So what I'm thinking is, can I then... I can. Okay, so I'm going to tear one and then I'm going to glue it to the back before I tear the other side. So I'll tear and glue and then do the next one. That'll give them a little bit of time to dry before I go ahead and do the final tear or cut. I haven't decided. I'm thinking maybe if I cut once they're glued together, that might give me a better finish. Like I said, I'm winging it. I'm making sure I'm up the right way. Okay. Excess glue, so it makes it really hard. I went to wipe my hand across it to make sure it was well adhered, and my finger kept sticking to the glue around the outside. Okay, so that's my first page. And I'm not going to do all of them. I would like at least 3. I've decided. So I like these two together. So pretty. So this way. I'm kind of looking through the paper to see where the edge of the print is to make sure I've got glue right up to the edges, and this is a really good way to be able to do that because you don't have to worry so much about being careful at the edge. Okay, so again I'm going to lift. I've mentioned before I have a light at the back of my table that I use when I'm crafting, and it's great for this sort of thing. She says as she struggles to get it in place properly. I think that's okay. Okay, so that's 2, and then love that page. I think I'd looked at this page and perhaps these 2. Oh, and I really love that one too. I don't know. Okay, maybe those 2 will work together. These 2 here, they're printed on 2 matte photo paper as well. They were an accident, but I'm good with accidents, especially when they're pretty ones. Okay, let me see. And I've got 2 copies of this particular print. Okay, what am I doing? Because I'm swapping these pages around, which I didn't have to do in the last one. I didn't have to do it with this one either, but that's just the way I decided I wanted to. Not really sure how many pages I'm going to have in this little journal. I'm thinking at least 10 to 15, but my mind keeps having ideas, so I don't know whether it will end up being more. I'm just going to have to wait and see how it handles numbers. I'm going to tear this one now. I am being a little bit precious with my tearing just because what I'm left with kind of determines the size of my pages, and I don't want them to be too small. Okay, so making sure I have them around the right way. Oops. It's a cooler day here today, so my glue stick isn't sliding as well as it usually does, and I'm really noticing it. Sorry. That usually happens much easier. I'm just like, I look so uncoordinated. But it is what it is. Apparently I'm more uncoordinated on cold days. Okay. Ironically, it wasn't cold this morning. It was quite nice, but it's cooled down this afternoon. And then don't know if you've noticed, but I really don't like my sleeves down when I'm crafting. Even when it's cold, I cannot. I cannot. It messes with my focus for some reason. I cannot focus on what I'm doing. I don't know whether it's because maybe I worry about getting them dirty, or I rely on that sense of feel. I don't know, but I just do not like my sleeves down, and it's not something I knew straight away. It's kind of been a discovery, and it's strange. I think it's strange anyway, but as soon as my sleeves, like if they fall down, if I've rolled them up and then they fall down, I cannot think straight until I pull them back up again. It's the weirdest thing. Okay. That's 4. So this will be 5. And I may not use all of them. I don't know. So I've just had a thought. I might not do this one. And this one here, I'd really like to do a page that I've seen Gail do before. Oh, will that work? Oh, we'll see if we can make it work. So I'm going to use this image on top of some tea stain paper probably to create a little pocket. But then I'll lose my flower. that will be a sad moment. No, maybe not. I don't want to lose the flower. I'll just make another page. Part of me is thinking I already have 5 pages for a potentially 10 to 15 page journal, so I'm just like, oh, and I tore the wrong one. I'm going to need my glue book. Yes, how easily, how quickly it will fill up. Little scrap paper is getting in my way. So I can kind of see through the paper where the print is on the other side. I do rely on light when I'm creating, either to help me see things that I normally wouldn't be able to see, or I find if I don't have really good light, I don't see colours the same way. I've wondered about those, you know, the light tables or light boards that you often see artists who draw using, and I often think that they would be fabulous to have in my space. I see the potential. Or a light box, is that what it's called? No, that might be a different thing. That might be a photography thing. Lost my words. Okay, so that is, I might tear that there. So that is 5 pages there. So I have this little pile of papers that I have stained recently. So I'm just going to, these are sitting on my ironing board behind me. I've been ironing like a crazy person when I can. I've still got some to do. Just looking for a lighter coloured. That one's okay. I mean, they're all okay. I'm just looking at the creasing. Yes, ironing like a crazy person to try and get them all done. I've still got a few in a pile. Gosh, that tissue paper turned out pretty. I don't really want the blotchiness got on those. Oh, that one's okay. Still got a couple of spots, but that's okay. Oops. And I'm thinking the blue might be really pretty in here as well. Just want to have a look at them with the papers that I'm using from JunkWithSteph and make sure that the colours are going to work. See, that pink is so pretty, and I feel like that blue is going to work really well too. I don't have these blues. Yep. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So I'm going to cut these in half at 5 1/2. Now, hubby has just turned up at home, so there'll probably be some noise in the background, and I do apologise for that. So I want to check. Yes, that's such a fun size, just a little A5 sheet. Totally distracted I was, sorry. Oh, that way. How have I not cut that right? Okay. Five and a half. I think I was meant to cut it at 5 3/4. Okay. Okay. So, but they are a fun size actually, so I might do that again. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing here. I am messing things up. I'm going to finish by cutting out my pages and folding those in half as well to create more pages, and I will either use these or I will cut another group of these papers and cut them right this time and put my signature together so that it's ready for when we're together next. So I'll probably ink everything beforehand too, because I do want to do that. So I hope you're enjoying watching this journal come together. I love it when I mess up. I'm keeping it real, guys. So a huge thank you to Steph from Junk with Steph for allowing me to showcase her beautiful digitals, and I look forward to seeing you all soon, everybody. Please stay safe, stay inspired, and happy crafting. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.